Sup guys, you're listening to episode 3 of the Ja Lord podcast show. It is Sunday, March 5th, 2017. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been busy writing and planning this vacation and whatnot. Just came back from a writers conference, learned a lot, and I got to go on a cruise to the Bahamas and Mexico as well. And let me just say, it was awesome. I honestly did not want to come back to the United States from this cruise. I was really dreading it on the last day after we left Cozumel. I would have done some vlogs from the cruise, but it was a busy schedule and I had the conference to go to. We stopped in Nassau in the Bahamas and Cozumel, Mexico. I didn't really explore Nassau that much, but I saw some of the good parts and the bad parts. However, I did notice that in the downtrodden areas of Nassau, the people still seem rather happy and not so stressed, unlike here in the US. I also got to try the national beer of the Bahamas, and let me tell you now, I had a lot of beer on my cruise. So here are the beers I tried on my cruise. I tried Newcastle Brown Ale, Dos Equis, Calic, Guinness, and Buddington's. I'm mostly a fan of wheat beer, but I also like dark beer and stout a little bit as well. Anyways, the port I spent the most time at was Cozumel, and I took a shore excursion on the mainland where I saw the Tulum Mayan ruins and swam in the Caribbean Sea. And I had so much fun that I do not even know where to begin. I took a ferry from Cozumel to Place de Carmel, where we went on a bus and saw the Tulum Mayan ruins. We went to the adjacent beach and went to the shopping areas of Place de Carmel, and it was a lot of fun. Except for the fact that the boat ride from Cozumel to Place de Carmel was very bumpy, and I almost got seasick because we had a lot of rough waves on the way there. Not so much on the way back, though. I would really love to do this again sometime, and next time I want to see the ruins of Chichen Itza, where apparently you can still climb the pyramid, which is something you're not allowed to do at most of the Mayan ruins anymore. Honestly, I was expecting to get seasick on the ferry ride to Place de Carmel, but I did not, and I did not get seasick on my cruise. Not even on the last day of the cruise when the boat supposedly speed up to try and get to port faster. Overall, the cruise was awesome, the ports were awesome, the conference was great, I met a lot of interesting people. Moving on to my next topic, Donald Trump. Apparently, Donald Trump is going to sign a new executive order into place, revising his infamous travel ban on 7 Muslim-majority countries. From what I'm hearing, apparently Iraq is supposedly going to be taken off the list due to its role in the fight against ISIS. I am still highly opposed to Donald Trump's travel ban, or should I say Muslim ban, because it specifically targets Muslim countries and severely punishes Muslim refugees, and I'm way more worried about angry white men and homosexuals than I am about Muslim refugees. Your odds of being killed by a Muslim refugee in the US are 1 in 3.6 billion. So you're more likely to win the Powerball jackpot than be killed by a Muslim refugee. Plus, most of the refugees are trying to escape groups like ISIS and dictators like Assad and whatnot. And while we're on the subject, I'd like to bring up the fact that ISIS recently issued an order for their soldiers to kill anyone with a Palestinian flag, and they recently just killed 2 Palestinian refugees in Yarmouk camp for doing something that shouldn't be a crime. I don't remember what it was exactly, but nobody should have to be punished for it, let alone die. Meanwhile, ISIS has been silent on Israel, and Israel hasn't been the target of any major ISIS attack yet. There are people pushing conspiracy theories that Israel is behind ISIS, and I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. However, it hasn't been proven, so let's not jump to conclusions yet. On a slightly different note, Donald Trump's chief strategist Steve Bannon is now being featured on the front page of Al-Qaeda's official newspaper, being used as a recruitment tool. This is exactly what I was afraid of and what lots of other people were afraid of, and Donald Trump and Steve Bannon's views on Muslims are playing directly into the hands of ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, Boko Haram, and their policies do nothing but perpetuate terrorism. Moving on to the next topic. So last week there was a hate crime in Kansas against 2 Sikh men and 1 man who tried to intervene. One of the 2 Sikh men died and the other was wounded along with the guy who tried to intervene. And apparently the assailant yelled, "Get out of my country!" And today there was yet another hate crime targeting the Sikh community, this time over in Kent, Washington. The victim survived in this case, but also the assailant here yelled, "Get out of my country, go back to where you belong," and whatnot. This kind of hatred and intolerance is just awful and disgusting. Ever since 9/11, Sikhs have also been the target of anti-Muslim backlash because they wear turbans and come from India and whatnot. Turbans have often been stereotypically associated with Muslims, but not all Muslims wear turbans, and the ones that do wear it in a completely different style than Sikhs do. Plus, Muslim turbans are usually black or white and are tied in a way that they have a tail at the end. Sikh turbans are usually blue or orange and aren't tied in a way that they have a tail at the end. Last thing I want to bring up before I close out this podcast is that I am doing a rewrite of this fantasy series I've been working on since July 2015. The series is called Blade of Paris, and it's named after the main protagonist of the series, Paris Rhodes. I'm not going to go all out and tell you the whole story right now, so I'm just going to say this. Yes, my lead protagonist is a girl, and yes, I named her after the city, which reminds me of the next place I would like to go in the near future. However, this brings me to one more topic I'd like to bring up before I close out this podcast. The other day, the European Union's Parliament voted to end visa-free travel for Americans. All I'm going to say in regards to that is that this could have a big hit on Europe's tourism industry, which has already taken a hit from the terrorism that's happened in Europe the past couple years. This concludes episode 3 of the Ja Lord Podcast Show. Once again, it is Sunday, March 5th, 2017. Peace.